So if you guys ever wanted to play the love child of No Man's Sky and Skyrim, you've come to the right video. What is going on, you guys? Today we're going to be diving into Starfield and everything we know so far. Today we're going to be diving into the article from What If Gaming called Starfield Release Date and Everything We Know by Bilwal Bashir. It was written on July 26, 2022. So it starts off by saying it's been a long time coming, and Bethesda's Starfield is finally in the home stretch. The epic sci-fi RPG was slated for November 11th, 2022 release, but has been pushed back into 2023 to allow the developers more time for polish. Fallout 76 didn't sit well with Bethesda fans, and they had rough years. That combined with Skyrim getting re-released again and again left the fans disappointed in the company. Starfield, on the other hand, has the potential to win everyone over and restore the fan-beloved status of the developers. During the Microsoft Showcase event, Bethesda recently showed off a brand new gameplay footage from the game that combined with interviews and tweets. We have a much clearer picture of what Starfield is. We also have a confirmed window of when the release for the much anticipated original Bethesda IP in a long time. Starfield is releasing in the first half of 2023. We don't know the exact release date yet, but we're sure Microsoft and Bethesda will have more information soon. The game was originally slated to be released on November 11th, 2022, but Bethesda announced the delay in May 2022. They stated that the teams at Arcane Austin and Bethesda Game Studios have incredible ambition for the games, and we want to ensure that you receive the best, most polished versions of them. Microsoft acquired ZeniMax Media in 2021, a deal that also netted them Bethesda Game Studios. They are the creators of Starfield, Fallout, and The Elder Scrolls. This means that the game will be released on Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S console exclusives. The company also announced that the game will launch on PC. It will be available from day one on the Game Pass. The Game Pass is also available for PC. Unfortunately, Starfield will not be on any PlayStation platform, whether it be the PlayStation 4 or 5. While the game was announced way before the Microsoft gaining acquisition of Bethesda, the game won't be seeing any PlayStation release. Bethesda's creative director Todd Howard stated that the focusing on the smaller number of platforms will make a better product. Of course, this is great news for Xbox and PC gamers, but PlayStation fans won't be able to experience Starfield. While Starfield was teased at Bethesda's E3 conference back in 2018, it wasn't until 2021 that we saw the first reveal trailer. Launched at the Microsoft and Bethesda Game Showcase in 2021, the 2-minute trailer only revealed basic details. We got the first look at the atmosphere, the environments, and some light story beats. At the Microsoft Bethesda Game Showcase in 2022, the first proper gameplay trailer was shown. It was a meaty 15-minute presentation, and that's the video we're running now, given none other by Bethesda's creative director Todd Howard. This is where we are gathering most of our information, and there's a lot of details to go through. The Starfield gameplay trailer is one of the best ways to get yourself accustomed to the new open universe Bethesda game. It is a truly stunning spectacle. According to Bethesda's creative director Todd Howard, yes, Starfield is Skyrim in space. Speaking to the Washington Post, Todd Howard stated that Starfield is like Skyrim in space, and the game will feature a lot of different factions and different settings. He further added that it's like NASA meets Indiana Jones meets the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, a group of people that are still searching for answers. Just like a traditional Bethesda game, Starfield will be fully playable in both first and third person views. Starfield, as the name suggests, takes place in space. Bethesda has also stated that there will be more than 100 systems and 1,000 planets within the game, all of which must be fully explorable by the player. You'll be able to hop in your spaceship and travel to any planet you want. While the developers are well known for crafting engaging and interactive open worlds RPGs, they've never undertaken such a big task. And again, this is where we get the joke about No Man's Sky. To say that Starfield is Bethesda's most ambitious project yet wouldn't be an understatement. Traveling across the cosmos using a spaceship is bigger than riding your horse in Elder Scrolls, or trekking across the nuclear wastelands in Fallout. In traditional Bethesda fashion, the story is under tight wraps. However, Bethesda has given some information regarding the story. For one, we know that Starfield will take place in 2330, the biggest factions in this settled system, the United Colonies and Freestar Collective, have a huge war for territory control. The player will start their journey as a member of the Constellation. Constellation is an organization that compromises space explorers that are exploring the settled systems. You will be able to explore the planets freely without any restriction where you go, and what you do is totally up to you. Joining other factions or siding with one is also up to the player, adding a layer of depth to the story. This also means that you'll be able to replay the whole story again, seeing how your choices play out. While the setting may seem like a far cry from the other Bethesda games, it is at heart a Bethesda RPG. If you played any other RPG from the developer studio, you'll know what to expect. environmental storytelling, progression systems, and a deep emphasis on exploration. You will also be making choices and seeing the consequences play out through the story. The gameplay also reminds us of other science fiction games like No Man's Sky. Starfield will also introduce new features that were never in the games before. Flying your ship in space is a big addition. There also seems to be a lot more emphasis on resource management, crafting, and building your settlements. We didn't see any features like Fallout's VATS here, so it seems like the combat system plays out in real time. We have a couple of different firearms as well, so we are sure there will be weapon customization thrown in too. Overall, the gunplay seems responsive and fast, a big improvement for Bethesda. So in short, the combat and gameplay will be rewarding loop of killing enemies, gaining experience points, looting their corpses for resources and better weapons, and then repeating the whole process. We saw multiple different creatures that were hostile to players as well. Some are small while some are gigantic, and we're hoping to be able to loot their dead corpses too. That would add another incentive to kill native life on the planet. Speaking of loot, we know you can loot enemies. However, there will also be locked cases that need to be unlocked using the new lock-picking minigame. The game seems simple enough and it won't pose a problem for fans of Fallout or the Elder Scrolls games. However, it isn't clear whether you'll need locking picks skills to pick locks. Starfield is putting a lot of emphasis on the researching and crafting. You'll be able to craft weapons and mods and also be able to improve your gear and spacesuit. That's not all. There are outposts that you need to input resources for expansion as well as we just hope we don't have a Preston Garvey in space urging us to help other settlement. You'll be able to research the projects to expand your crafting options like adding new mods to your space rifle or making your jetpack better. The base building feature first introduced in Fallout 4 and then in Fallout 76 is back again, and this time it seems a lot more expansive. You'll need to mine for resources to build your base and even assign NPC workers to maintain your outpost. Overall, this seems to be a meaty crafting and researching experience that will reward players who invest in it. There are spaceships in Starfield, and in traditional Bethesda fashion, they are also customizable. While the ships are essential for space exploration, there is also going to be space combat involved. This means that upgrading and customizing your ship according to your playstyle is necessary to keep up with the space enemies. The Starfield ship customization is an elaborate and deep experience, allowing you to modify each and every inch of your spaceship. The modular customization system makes it easy for you to swap out features and elements of the design. This isn't an afterthought slapped together just to check a box. Bethesda seems to be aiming high with the level of deep customization. The character creation in Starfield is going to take a long time, especially if you love creating your custom characters. The character creator in Starfield is going deeper this time around, allowing you to create your perfect persona. If you're a fan of role-playing games, you'd be happy to know that Bethesda has several backstories to choose from beast hunter to bouncer and from chef to combat medic. There are a lot of backgrounds to pick from in Starfield, and I'm keen on discovering what kind of perks and privileges certain backgrounds bring, especially during NPC interaction missions. So far, we know that there are 16 backstories to decide from. That is more than enough to get us started. It remains to be seen how deeply impactful backstories would be to the moment. The skills and upgrades system seems to be lifted from both Fallout and Skyrim in Starfield. There are 5 different categories in which you are divided: physical, social, combat, science, and tech. You'll earn experience points by doing missions, killing enemies, and exploring. Once you've earned a certain number of experience points, you'll gain skill points which you can invest in skills that interest you the most. For example, if you want to make everything explode, the demolitions perk in the combat category would be the one for you. Creative director at Bethesda, Todd Howard, also hinted that certain categories will behave differently. That depends on your background and starting skills, as well as the skills you choose to upgrade during your playthrough. He stated that you can unlock new skills as you level up, and then you rank those skills up by using them in completing challenges. Taking a leaf out of the Outer Worlds, Starfield allows you to pick up 3 unique traits. The traits have both positive and negative effects. For example, if you select the kid stuff trade, you can visit your parents in the game, but 10% of all your income will go to support them. Similarly, picking up the introvert trait gives you more endurance when you're adventuring alone, but less when you have human companions with you. The traits seem to be an optional, as you don't need to pick all 3, but they will give the game a lot of replayability. This means that you can start a new character with different backgrounds and traits and enjoy the game a whole different way. There are 16 traits that we know so far, but we are sure there are more details to be discovered. Starfield is using Creation Engine 2. While the Elder Scrolls V and Fallout 4 shared the same engine technology, Bethesda engineered Creation Engine 2 with Starfield in mind. From what we have seen, there are definitely marked improvements to not only the graphics but also facial features and lighting. How far the improvements go remain to be seen, but the gameplay trailer does a good job of showcasing the highlights of the engine. The draw distances in the gameplay demo seem quite impressive. Although Bethesda is still not great at rendering smoke, that's a small nitpick. If you're worried that the new engine might not support mods, you can relax because Bethesda has confirmed mods will work with this engine. There are not a lot of details of how this will be implemented yet, but Todd Howard stated that during a Reddit AMA, our plan is to have full mod support like our previous games. Our modding community has been with us for 20 years, they love what they do and they hope to make more of a career out of it. Starfield is purely a single player experience, so if you're hoping to be a co-op explorer with your buddies, this might not be the game for you. Perhaps the negative reception Fallout 76 received dissuaded Bethesda to pursue multiplayer for Starfield, or the Creation Engine 2 would have trouble running multiplayer sessions. Whatever the reason might be, fans of purely single player experiences would be quite happy with the direction Starfield is taking. So that was a huge freaking article of everything we know about Starfield so far, and I want to know your interest because for me, when I watched the trailer during the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase, wasn't all that blown away. It seems a little too much crafty and like exploration for me, unlike a Skyrim where I felt like I was in combat and it just wasn't like way too like resource management heavy, and I don't really go those routes because that's kind of more of like a survival game, which I don't really play that much. But I'm interested to see how it plays out. I love Bethesda, and I'll definitely, check it out on Game Pass when it comes out. But I'm really interested to hear from the fans of this game who are like ecstatic to play Starfield. What are your thoughts? What is it that's driving you to play it? Besides the fact that it's a Bethesda game. I'm interested to see Bethesda's take on the whole new Creation Engine 2 and what it looks like, how it smooth it runs, because the last few games they've put out like Fallout 4 and Skyrim weren't the smoothest experiences. The combat is very clunky, and again, those were on previous gen systems, but still, even just what we saw in the gameplay trailer looked a little clunky to me. But again, I could be wrong and it could play out like as smooth as can be. So let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please be sure to smash the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing here if you guys want to stay up to date on all the latest gaming news we cover, as well as just turn on that notification bell so you guys never miss an upload. As always, my name is Ross, and I will see you guys in the next video.